I bet you've heard statements like, self-care isn't selfish, or put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. While true, great for social media posts, and at times really helpful reminders, these statements fail miserably in conveying how urgent and difficult it is to prioritize your well-being while witnessing and feeling deeply affected by the suffering around you. Let's take the oxygen mask example. If you've traveled on an airplane, you've heard the guidance. In the event of an emergency, put on your own mask before assisting others. And when you're not in an emergency, this makes perfect sense. Of course, if you have oxygen flowing to your brain and your body, you're going to be much more effective in helping those around you. What we don't talk about is how hard it is when you are in a crisis, when the people around you are panicked, hurt, struggling to breathe, to pause before helping, and put on your own mask first. Can you imagine sitting next to your friend, your parent, your child, seeing their struggle and waiting to help while you put on your mask? It's hard to do this in everyday life as well. I want to share with you a short story about Lewis. I was introduced to Lewis by a mutual friend last spring. He was working as a chief equity officer with a team in a large organization, and as we talked, it was clear how deeply he cared about both his team and the work that they were doing. He confided his concern that seeing his team members, relatively new in the field, were already showing the signs of strain and fatigue. He described the look in their eyes, their faces, and the slump of their shoulders as they were showing up for work each day. And he was enthusiastic about supporting them and their well-being. He invited me to attend one of the future retreats that he was planning, something he wanted to do regularly to support their well-being. And he expressed his interest in coming to one of my social justice and self-compassion roundtables. He told me, I've been wondering who was going to do this work? Who is going to support the people like me and my team? As we stayed in touch, he was always responsive until late last fall when I sent an email and I didn't hear anything back. I didn't think much of it. It was late in the year, and being close to the holidays, many people were stretched beyond their limits. So I circled back in January. Only this time, the email bounced back. I double-checked and tried again. It bounced back. I sent an email to our mutual friend. Has Lewis changed jobs? It was then that I learned that Lewis had died suddenly of a medical crisis in the late fall. Did you know that when an employee experiences injustice in the workplace, their odds of suffering a major health disease increase by 35%? Up to 55%. 55% odds of suffering a major disease. As somebody who recognizes and cares deeply about the concerns and suffering around you, you show up with incredible dedication, persistence, compassion, and resilience for your friends and family, for your communities, for your workplaces. What is at stake if you neglect your own needs? Rewriting history does not erase the ongoing and intergenerational trauma of injustice. And as much as we might like to, we can't flip a switch on the current socio-political environment. If we want to support lasting, sustainable change, then we can and we must change the paradigm so that support for your well-being through the emotional labor and injustice is recognized and prioritized as the imperative that it is. So I ask you, how long can you hold your breath while putting on oxygen masks of others? What is that costing your physical, mental, emotional health and your impact? How much more effective and sustainable could your efforts be if you had a continuous flow of oxygen? Because while it's not easy nor automatic, you cannot afford to take your persistence, your dedication, your compassion, or your resilience for granted. You need your oxygen mask immediately. And the people and causes that you care so deeply about need you to have it too.